Good evening. Welcome to the Living with series. Today we're going to be talking about living with PTSD. I'll wait for Adana to join.
Hi,
Hi.
Sandra.
How are
Hi.
you?
I'm fine. I'm fine.
Okay. Sorry, let me just adjust this. All right. How you doing?
I'm
I can hear
fine.
you fine. Oh, are you
Okay,
on the
that's what
road?
I was going to ask. Yes, I am.
Oh wow, so sorry.
That's fine. That's fine. How are
All right.
you?
I'm doing
We're
well,
finally
thank
doing this.
you. We are finally doing this. Finally, about
I
time.
know. About time. I know.
Yes.
Yeah.
First of all, I just want to say a very big thank you to Adana for agreeing to do this program with us. It's Thank you so much for agreeing to come on this live. Thank you so much for agreeing to
Oh,
share your story with us and literally with everybody. The goal for the Living with series is simply to make sure that other people are aware that these
mm-hmm.
things are real. We need to get past the point where Nigerians still think that mental illnesses are made up stories or things of that nature. So I'm
Yeah.
quickly just going to, hi everybody, welcome. So I'm quickly just going to type in what we are talking about today and pin it in. All right. So I hope you
Veronica's
can. I hope
asking
you.
why are you looking so fine?
I mean, I will not find people though.
I know.
How do you pin? Okay, okay, I got
Yeah,
it.
you've picked it. Yeah.
All right, so I've done that. All right, so we'll just get straight into it, so we don't spend too long. So then the first things
Yeah.
first, please tell us about yourself. Tell us about yourself. Let people know that you're actually Nigerian.
Ah, I don't look Nigerian. Well, I'm not living
I
in
don't,
my
you
real
know.
country yet. I'm not
Yeah,
living
you
in
go
my
to your
real
real
country
country
yet.
soon. You go to your real
I
country
will move to
soon.
my real country. I'm not in my real country. So my name is Adana. I work in corporate communications. I'm a mental health advocate. Um, yeah, that's really an introduction, right?
Yeah, it is. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for that introduction. So, why we have Adana on this live is to talk about post-traumatic stress disorder, what we commonly call PTSD, right? So we want to
Yeah.
have, understand what it is like from somebody who has been there. What it
The
is, what
chaos.
is it
The chaos. I
like?
told you, Sandra. I told you the chaos. It's chaotic. It's very chaotic.
Yeah, I remember you said you're going to bring wine to the live session because because it's a lot. Can you hear me? Hello, Adana, can you hear me? Please let me know if it's my own network, you guys. If you can hear me, please let me know.
Yeah. You're
Can you
back.
hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you.
Oh, okay. All right, great then. All right. So I'm just going to go straight to the questions. Oh, by the way, you guys, if you have any questions for us or for Adana, generally any questions about mental health in general, please just drop them in the comment section. If you have questions for Adana, please drop it in the comment section also. So I'm just going to go straight to asking Adana a couple of questions, right, to kickstart this program. So Adana, tell us about your PTSD.
Um, Okay. I think that you've kind of detailed what PTSD is. Post-traumatic stress
I
disorder.
can barely see you.
Okay, can you see me now?
Yes, I think
Okay.
that's better.
Okay. Chidima.
Okay, so I don't know if it's just my network.
Okay. Can you hear me? Just let me know when you can hear me, Sha.
We lost you for a second,
Um.
please. Yes, I don't know. People say they can't hear you. We lost you for a second. I think your network is a bit bad.
Yeah. But if you can hear me, just let me know. Um.
I
Well,
I
Nigerian
can hear you
network is
now.
terrible. Um. So my living with PTSD, it's okay. So
Oh,
let me that you cannot hear. Mm-hmm.
I hope this network allows us today.
But can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay. Okay. So living with PTSD, I think that like I always tell Sandra, it's very chaotic. It's it comes and it goes. It comes in waves and it goes. And I think that for me, the what I experience the most would be destructive memories and in disruptive memories basically. That's like the major symptoms that I get. And I found out about it last year. I think early last year. And yeah, I've just been trying to navigate my life around it. So that's
Okay,
pretty much.
okay, so all right. So if I heard you clearly, you said destructive memory, right? Disruptive
Yeah.
memory, sorry. So just
Yeah.
for clarity, can you explain to us a bit more what that means? No.
Okay, so destructive memories are like, what's the best way to explain it? So an experience that I always have, I had very recently, was going to an airport, going to Enugu Airport, um, to pick up my friend that came to see me. And then I got to the airport, drove in, and froze on the steering. It was like I had this flood of memories, like flash through my head. And like I don't talk about it that much, to be honest. And my friend didn't want me to come and pick her because she knew about it. But I was insisting, oh, I'm good, I'm okay. It's not something I cannot handle. And then I drive into the airport and yeah, it was a wrap. I literally parked there and had to like gather myself together before um I could drive to now finally enter into the airport. So it's like
Good.
things like
Yeah.
that, especially when you go to places that kind of reminds you of things that you experienced with somebody. It
Yeah.
just brings it back. Then experiences of like, you know, just going about your normal day and you just have like flashes of um memories just rushing and then you have to like navigate it, especially if you're at work or in your social gathering and stuff like that. So yeah, that's like the kind of experience that I have most of the time, and trying to navigate that and live a normal life is a bit intense for me. So yeah.
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 That
Then
must be a lot actually.
yeah, and it's those things that when you see somebody wearing something that reminds you of something, and then you just have to like um
Yeah.
navigate, being normal and behave like everything
Mm.
is okay. Yeah, so that's basically that's basically my life. That's why I tell you that it's very chaotic, because imagine that
Can
you're just at
imagine.
work talking to your boss and he says something that triggers it, and then you just have to like pretend like everything is okay and then
Hmm.
move on with your normal life. Yeah, that's really my life. So it's a bit chaotic.
Wow.
It's a bit chaotic.
Okay, so speaking about that now, right? Speaking about
Yeah.
how like the symptoms you experience and basically those things. So how when were you diagnosed with PTSD?
Last year, February, I think. Yeah, February.
So what led to
Because
your
I've had
diagnosis?
hmm?
What led to your diagnosis?
I had um I had a lot of intense, intrusive memories last year, January, and I didn't know what it was about, where it was coming from, why I was feeling like that. And
Yeah.
then I had to go back to therapy. And then,
So you
that's where, yeah, that's where I got that.
so you actually went to therapy. You were diagnosed by a therapist.
You know now, Sandra, you know that it's not hard.
No,
I'll
I
just
mean,
carry myself. I'll just carry myself and go and see somebody very fast before
yeah.
it gets very intense. Yeah.
I mean, this is just for, like I said earlier, this is a program to create awareness for people. So we also need people to realize that before you got to this point, you were actually diagnosed, right? You
Yeah.
didn't just wake up and decide that, oh, okay, this is what's wrong with me. Maybe after Googling your symptoms and everything, you didn't just wake up to that. Because that is what most people do these days. We
Yeah.
just go on Google and give ourselves hypertension just because we want to know what's going on with us. Right? People need to know that you actually went to therapy, you sought professional help, and you were diagnosed.
Yeah,
Right?
I actually was. And for the longest time, it's that thing where you confuse it with being depressed, you think you're depressed. But I knew, like, I've experienced depression and I knew for a fact that it wasn't depression. I knew
Depression.
that it wasn't. So I was just wondering, like, what is this one now? And then, you know, yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Okay, so what was the diagnosis for you? Like, fine, you knew that something was wrong. You knew that everything wasn't okay. So, like, was
Yeah.
there any different for you going into therapy and then your therapist telling you, oh, okay, so this is what is wrong. This is what happened. This is what's going on with you. Did you
No, I mean,
feel any kind of way?
no, I think it was just a bit of relief to know that there's a name to what was going on, right? Like I said
Yeah.
before, I've been to therapy before. Um,
Mm.
so when you know what's wrong with you, it's just easier to know that okay, this is what's wrong with me, and I'm not
So
a
now we
mad
can
person,
tackle it.
but yeah, I'm not a mad. I'm not, and I say it a lot because it's that thing where the things that are going on with you, you just think, oh, I'm a mad person. What's going on? And last year, January, it was like every day I was always crying because I remember telling my friend that I felt like I was living in different years every day,
Mm.
right? And I wake up and
Wow.
I feel like, I mean, like the intrusive memories were very intense. And like
Yeah.
this is actually the first time I'm speaking about it. I think I've talked about it with you before.
Yes, yes. You
um,
have spoken about it
but
with
this is
me,
like the
but not
first time like
openly.
yeah, I'm properly like coming out to say, oh, this is actually a thing that's going on with me. So
Mm.
I
And
think
that
that
takes a lot
when
of
I started
courage. Yes,
I
that
know
takes a lot of courage.
I don't think I'm that courageous, but you always say that, oh no, and then I am very strong and I'm always laughing. But
I'm
I mean
I'm always saying it, and I know that every other person knows that. Like people who know you, they know that. So it's not yes, so it's not that I'm just saying it just because, right? It's not
yeah,
that I'm just saying it just because. Yes. All right.
yeah.
So you mentioned that you had been to therapy before you were officially diagnosed with PTSD.
Yeah.
So what was your first experience like going into therapy? What pushed you to actually like go to therapy the very first time ever?
My friends actually did push me. So I was going through this part where I was just I felt like I was going through like a dark hole. And I remember telling my friend that, oh, I detailed my everything that was going on, and she was like, "Madam, you're depressed." I was like, "Me, depressed." She was like, I was like, "No, that's not a thing. That's not a thing that do normally happen." And
Yeah.
she was like, "You're depressed. You should go and see a therapist." I was like, "No." And then I had another friend that came, picked me up, and he was like, "Oh, come and accompany me to the hospital. I need to see somebody." And I was like, "Okay, let's go now." And then I got there, and he actually had paid for a therapist for me. So
Wow.
it was like that was like the only way to get me to go there, because like it was that I
Yeah.
had that mentality of, oh, I'm a Nigerian. It's like what happened to us. Like what? It's not a thing. I went there.
I'm losing. Okay, I'm losing you.
Can you hear
The
me?
network. Oh, okay, I can hear you now. Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay. So I saw the therapist, and she was really good. But
Mm.
the story that I never tell is how I ran. So I ran,
You
I did not
ran from
finish.
your therapy session. That
So
is interesting. Why?
I had gone for like the first, I went for 2 sessions. And for the first time, somebody could like properly understand what was going on with me. And I remember she gave me an assignment, and she was like, go home, write the things that you regret the most and the things that you appreciate the most about the situation that was going on. And I went home, I did the assignment, I cried, I felt so much relief. It was such a good thing. But go back, because I was like, how can this person
Why?
just do one
Just
assignment?
know so much.
Yeah, and why didn't I even think of doing that assignment by myself without going to therapy? By me, if you don't go, how then would you know? You get.
Yeah.
So I think it was really helpful. It was like the start to like feeling better, the start to feeling better. Um,
Mm-hmm.
that period, and that's why I always say to people, like, therapy is great. Therapy is really really great. And it's just that thing where it's easy. It's not really easy to talk to your friends about the things that are going on with you. Especially when it comes to like mental health, because you don't want to be like that mad person. I mean, last year when I was having the intrusive memory, I, nobody knew. Nobody
Wow.
knew. I never spoke about. I think I just spoke about it once to my friend, Michael, and I was telling him like, oh, I feel like I'm living in different years, and he was like, "Are you sure you don't need to go back to therapy?" I was like, No, I'm good, thanks." But eventually I did, and it was great, I guess. Is that
Okay.
necessary? Good thing.
Yeah, it is necessary. Okay, so
Yeah.
speaking about therapy still, right? The first time you went to therapy, I don't know if you did you tell your family members, your friends about it?
Hmm? I didn't hear
Uh,
that. Go ahead. Come again.
um, your network, your village people are here, your network. So I was asking, she's gone again. Let's wait for her. Also, while we're waiting for Adana, if you have any questions about PTSD, about mental health generally, please just leave them in the comment section and we will definitely answer your questions. And also look forward to more of our Living with series.
Okay.
All
Am I
right. So
back?
look forward to more of our, yes, you are.
Okay. I was changing my
Welcome
network.
back. Oh, okay. Welcome back. So I was asking, right, the very first time you went to therapy,
Mm.
I don't know if you spoke to your family members about it, like, oh, I'm currently in therapy. Did you speak to your friends, your family members? How did they take it?
I think at the day that I started therapy, my brother was in my house. I was living alone.
and my brother came to visit. So he was in my house. I remember when I was going, he was like, "Where are you going?" Like he said, "Kevin, so like, where are you going to?"
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh, I'm going to therapy." And he said, "Are you mad? Why are you going to?"
Oh, my country.
And I was like, "No, I just want to see what it's like." I had to lie. I was like, "Oh, I just want to go and see what it's all about." They've been making noise, go and see therapists, go and see therapists. And then when I came back, he was like, "How was it?" I said, "You should try it. You should try it. It's really, really good." Then later on down the line, he started battling the same things that I was battling. And then I was like, "You see, you need to see a therapist, you need to see a therapist." I think my friends were happy that
Nice.
I went to see a therapist. Reason is because I didn't even realize that I had become such a sad person. And if you know me well, you know that I'm not usually a sad person.
Yeah.
I like to be happy. I'm that happy person that is always in the crowd and laughing a lot.
Yeah.
So they were just happy that I had decided to start going to therapy again. And even my cousins and my friends were like, "You see, your happy spirit is coming back. It's coming back. It's coming back." So
That's
I
really
think it was
nice.
like the first time I told my dad. I think it was like the first time that I started taking, being an advocate very seriously. And my dad was like, "Yeah, oh, Guinea, what is going on? Blah, blah, blah." And I was like, "Oh, I think that I'm lucky to have
Um,
um, the importance of therapy, and just the importance of being expressive about the things that are
yeah.
going on with me." So I think I'm very lucky, to be very honest. I think
I
I'm
think
really lucky.
I believe so too. I mean, it's that's why we're always talking about support systems, right? Support
Yeah,
systems. You can never go wrong with having a strong support system. It's something that I think every single person needs to experience at least once in their
yeah.
life because there's
Mm-hmm.
this extra support, sort of like a
Yeah,
comfort or a safe zone. People that are always rooting for you, people that you can completely be yourself around, people that are
yeah,
always, always there for you. I'm so glad that you had
yeah.
those people. I mean, there are some
Yeah,
people
one
that,
of those.
that's not their
She's
case.
one of those. She's one of those people.
It's just some people that's not the case for some people. There's some people that the very
Yeah,
first time they told, say, a friend that they're going to therapy, they completely disregarded them,
yeah.
telling them they're
I
crazy,
met
they're
people
mad,
like
just
that.
so many
I met
things.
people
And
like that. And I
yeah,
think that because I have a mental health advocate on my bio, I get a lot of people calling me and sending me messages and just
yeah,
saying stuff like, um, people think I'm mad, and that's why, as much as um, it's off brand for me. I don't know how to like come out and talk about like things that are going on with me, but
yeah,
every time that I do, there's always people reaching out and saying, "Thank you for sharing." I thought I was mad. I thought that it was just me in that. And I think
yeah.
that you get to meet people that you become their support system,
Mm-hmm.
without even knowing who they are.
Really
You
knowing them,
become their
basically.
support system. Yeah. And sometimes, as much as it's uncomfortable for me to share and uncomfortable for me to come out and say, "Oh, I'm struggling with this," I just think that it's so important to do that, because they're just people that are going through stuff and just need somebody to be like, "Oh, me too, I'm going through stuff like that." And I conquered, I came out, or I'm still going through it, but I'm powering through it. And they're like, "Yes, let me do this." People are doing it too. So I think support system is very
I
important.
think so. Too. I think
Yeah,
we all need that. I think we all
yeah,
really, really need that because in this time, especially in Nigeria right now, where everything is just, up and down, a lot of people's emotions are everywhere. People are angry all the time. People are feeling depressed. People are feeling anxious. a lot of
Very
anxiety
anxious.
everywhere, so many things going on, and it's just so it's just so frustrating that people can't come out to say, oh, this is what I'm dealing with, because they're scared of what other people would say. They're scared of how other people would receive them. They're scared of things like that, which is also
Mm.
why we're doing this program, right? We are always here.
Yeah.
Psychebabble is always here to be a listening ear. You can always be safe with us. We have our counselors that you can speak to free of charge, and you also get to find support systems, find support groups to join. These things are really, really
Yeah.
important, and we need to keep
Mm-hmm.
promoting this conversation. So,
Yeah.
before we continue, thank you so much for being an advocate for mental health and using your voice to promote. Thank you for using your voice to promote mental wellness. All right. So, what are some challenges that you face generally? Some challenges that you face. Why are you
So,
laughing?
because now I really now have to talk about the chaos that is my life.
Yeah.
Um, hmm. First of all, my PTSD is not stemming from one experience,
Mm.
right? It's stemming from a couple of experiences.
Wow.
Um, and so it's not, I think that it's harder for me because it's not just one experience I'm navigating, right?
Yeah.
It's, more than one. I think
Multiple.
very, very recently, I think on Thursday or Wednesday, I can't even remember. I had like a full breakdown. And I was like, I remember reaching out to my friends and I was like, I can't do this anymore. I need a break. I can't.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, yeah, you need to take a break. Take one day off work. Just turn off your phone and sleep and do whatever it is that you want to do. I think that living with PTSD is, let me describe it like this, is adulting with more adulting. It's like
Adulting times 1,000.
times 1,000. So there are times that, and intrusive memory is disrespectful. It doesn't
Yeah.
care where you
It
are.
comes at any time.
It comes at any time. It's like somebody would say something and it just triggers it, and you're just going through this spiral. And the kind of person that I am is that it doesn't usually do show on my face. That's when I start to laugh the most and crack jokes the most. And
Wow.
so it's like, because it's either I do that or it's full on tears or full on shock, right? And you don't want to be that person at work or amongst your friends, because as much as I know a lot about mental health and stuff, you don't want to still be, I don't want to still be that friend that is always like breaking down or saying, oh, this just happened. Oh, it's like someone will touch you wrongly and you're like,
Yeah.
yeah, everything just comes back. And the one I experienced, I said that airport one, it shocked me because it's been like 5 years now, right? And
Wow.
and just I do normally avoid going to Enugu airport
Mm.
in general. So, she calls me and she's like, oh, she's around. I know what's going on. Don't bother coming to pick me. I'll find her. I was like, what? I like, I'm over that shit. I'm coming to get you, Joe. And I drive in, and
Mm.
like the flood of memory. And what happened was that 5 years ago, we were going to pick my sister's body from the airport. And I
For
literally opened the door, jumped out. And so it was like driving in and the whole memory started to replay.
so that
I
was that was the cause of your PTSD.
Yeah, the first, like the initial one. And
Yeah.
then like last year it got last year towards the end of last year, it got worse again. You know the story. Um
Mm.
I'm still not ready to talk about it.
Yeah, that's fine,
Um
please. That's fine.
and so it was like I went home still this Christmas, and my friend tried to like just touch my body, and I was like, I just froze. And this is somebody that I know. and I shouldn't be scared. And it just and I had it a lot this Christmas because I had to go to a lot of places that, I used to avoid. And yeah. So I think that living with it is being able to like navigate, especially when it comes without respect. I think I only tweeted. I always say this PTSD is disrespectful.
I
Because
didn't catch that. Please come again.
I said I always say it like that PTSD is very disrespectful.
Yeah.
So it comes anywhere. Anywhere. You can be watching a movie and from laughing, yeah, in a total breakdown.
Right. Or you can even
You
be in
can
a
be
very serious meeting and
that serious meeting one. Ah God. You just
crazy.
you'll be in a serious meeting and the thing will just come and I'll just be sitting down, like I'll just be clenching my hands like this, like yeah. Can you hear me, Adana? Yes, I'm paying attention. And after
Yeah.
then I'm going straight to the toilet because I need a break.
Yeah.
But I always say it's very chaotic. And it's not something that typically I usually go through that phase, come out of it and move on with my life. I'm even tired of saying, oh, do you know that I just had a breakdown? I just say chaos,
Yeah.
that is life, and I just move on. So
It's a lot of emotional roller coaster. Like,
I have one. There was one day that I was walking on the road and I was just strolling on my own strolling, and I legit just stopped on the road and started crying.
wow.
It do shock me.
On the road. Bam.
On the road.
Wow.
On the road.
Wow.
But I've learned that, when I can control it, I would appreciate my own space and just
Yeah.
stay and just go through that whole phase and come out and continue with my life again. Yeah. So that's the
You
chaos
see,
this time.
when I say you're a very strong person, you feel like you think Sandra is washing you, but I'm serious
I do
because
think you're watching picture, but it's fine.
but you know I am not though. You know I am not. Like, imagine going through all of that, even in the presence of people. Imagine going through all of that, but now nobody knows what is happening because it's beyond
Nobody.
physical. So people
Yeah.
have no idea what is happening, and but then you have
Yeah.
to keep up this front that okay, you know what? I am good, I am solid, and you're smiling and looking, and people have no idea what is happening. The same thing goes on with people who struggle with severe anxiety, right? You are in public, and you have say you have one stressor, and you are just there, just looking, and people have no idea the struggle and the fight that is going on the inside
Yeah.
because all they see is this. You can be smiling, but inside there's a bloody war going on.
I
You
used to tell
know,
people that as much as I look like I like to go out, before I go out, before not now. Now I've been able to like walk through it. But
yeah.
before I go out, I first of all think, okay, who and who is coming? Okay. I now list like topics in my head, like, okay, can I
Mm.
have this conversation? And then what is my go-to conversation line? And then by the
And
time
then don't forget your escape plan for when it
yes,
becomes too tight.
earpiece, plug it, straight face, resting bitch face, and then
And
I
also
go there.
like an excuse to say, oh sorry, I just had a call, I need to leave, or you know.
I used to sneak out, at, like because I used to tell people that my energy is like it's like this. I can go off
Yeah.
full, and in like 30 minutes I'm down here. So
Imagine.
I need like 20 minutes to recharge. Then I come
Yeah.
back and it's back after like
Pack
30
up.
minutes.
It's
I'm
done
back.
and you're going back to recharge.
So that's my coping mechanism now. So I can go somewhere and just be loud, and next thing you know, be hearing my voice again. I'm now
You guys,
quiet.
please, also, that was not an advert for Chivita, please. That was just
Oh,
an example.
I told you I am coming with wine today, but I finished drinking it before I started. So
All right. So I remember you mentioned something about work, right? So I
Yeah.
asked you what are some challenges you face? So even at work, your workplace, do you think is friendly enough, sort of like is it, what's the word now? Um like, can you take on days when it feels really, really heavy and it's a week and it's a work day, do you think you can take like a day of sort of like a mental day off for you from work? Is that possible in your current place of work?
Yes and no, right?
Mm.
I'm going to say yes because the kind of line manager that I have, they are very, very understanding people.
Mm.
I can easily go and sit down with Yinka and say, "Oh, Yinka, see the way I'm feeling today, but if you don't see me
Don't
tomorrow,"
work it.
and he'll be like, "What's happening tomorrow?" And I say, "Oh, this." He'll be like, "Are there urgent deliverables?" I'll be like, "Oh, it's not something like I cannot walk through my own pace, or it's not something that I can't do the day after." He'll be like, "Okay, or yeah, escape."
That's great.
and
No, honestly, that is really, really good.
and I would take a break. Um, my but why I say no is because you don't want to be that person. Do you
Yeah.
understand? It's always that thing I say. You don't want to be that person that is known to um be that person. So, for example, on Thursday after that breakdown, I said I'm not coming to work on Friday. That nothing will happen. The office will not burn down, right? And then by the time I wake up, I have like 3 scheduled meetings. And so I go to work. In the middle of work, I start to like feel drained. It felt like I was like, I don't know. I don't feel I just need to be out of here. He's like, then go, go. And
Yeah.
then I went home, had one more meeting, and then my other line manager called me and I was like, I just need to take the rest of the day off. And she was like, okay, fine, do that. And I took this, like, I just turned off my phone. I didn't turn off my phone. I tried to sleep. I watched
Adana,
a
we
video.
can't see you clearly anymore, and we can barely hear you.
Uh, okay, can you hear me now?
I don't know if it's just me. Please, if you can still hear us or see us, please let us know in the comments. Let me know if it's my network or Adana's network. This is the
Mm,
issue, the things we experience in Nigeria. Like, I can see some crack on your screen, Adana. I don't know if you can hear me, but I can't see you. I can't hear you.
okay. Um, can you hear me now?
I can. Yes, you are back, and you've gone again. All right, you're back.
Ah,
You're back.
okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Right.
So yeah, I think that my workplace is great and gives me
Yeah.
the ability to like um take a break if I need to, especially when the breakdowns come. So yeah, I think so far my chaotic life has been going well. Has been going well.
Honestly, I think that is one thing that we do not have yet in Nigeria.
Mm,
Workplaces that allow for like day mental health day off, sort of, days where at least, even if it's like just when somebody calls you, when, say, one of your colleagues or your workers call to say, oh, you know what, I don't feel well today. You have to, because I remember there was somebody was telling me something about how there was a day she had a breakdown for like a full week, but she kept going to work every single day.
yeah, I've
Kept going
had
to work,
that.
and she applied for like, oh, please give me a few days, I don't feel well. Either it was denied, or they'll tell her, oh, when you are leaving, on coming back, you have to come with a doctor's report, you have to come with this, you have to come
And
with
there's no
that.
doctor's
So
report for it.
yes, do you get, except you have to actually go to therapy. And now imagine if it's somebody who can't really afford therapy at that
At
point in time,
yeah,
or can't find a therapist at the exact time, or probably they just need to breathe. without going into
Yeah.
the workplace, because we all
So
know
sometimes
how
it just,
um
yeah.
yeah, we know how some workplaces in Nigeria can be very, very toxic. So probably they just need a breather from the work environment. And now you're asking
Mhm.
them to bring like a doctor's report. From who? A native doctor? Who are they going to bring doctor's report from? Do you get? Do you get? So it's just, I think these are some of the things that once we start putting these things in place, it becomes easier to have mental health conversations. It becomes, you're breaking up, Adana. Okay, you're back. Yeah, so it becomes way easier to have these conversations. It becomes easier to talk about your feelings. It becomes easier to go to therapy. It becomes so many things. And even what workplaces can do now is actually have like therapists, in-house therapists. You know, as much as people may not go to your in-house therapist, but then let them just know that, oh, okay, so the
Is there?
organization is mental
Like,
health friendly. You know,
yeah.
it's going to help to promote these things, because we're not going to lie. We can't pretend like we don't see how toxic some
Work
organizations
environment.
can be, some work environments can be. Yes, so it's
I think
there.
that I'm lucky with my work organization. I think
Yes.
that I think that again, I always say that it's the people that make the organization, and I think
Mhm.
that the
It's always
the
the
people
people, I mean.
the people in my office like are really people that care for you.
Mhm.
You have friends, you have line managers that are considerate to a very large extent. I mean, one day from work is not going to kill nobody. To be very,
Yeah, you get.
it's not, it's not going to kill anybody. So I think that, yeah, like you said, and I think that it's going to take a while, right? But it's
Yes.
not something that is not achievable. It's not something that
Yes.
is
It's
not
not.
achievable.
Mm, yeah.
Yeah, just more
All right.
awareness. Yeah.
Yeah, more awareness, basically. Yeah. So, speaking of stigma, have you ever had a scenario? Let me paint this scenario now, right? Where
Mm,
let's say one of your friends, maybe a new friend, probably an old friend, whoever, and then for some reason they find out that you're not exactly yourself right now. Probably you were having some sort of like, you're just feeling weird that day. And then they try to ask you, oh, what's going on? What's going on? And you trying to be a good person, or you trying to be a friendly person, you sort of be like, oh, okay, let me tell this person about what's going on. I don't feel well.
yeah.
Mental health is not at the best right now. Have you ever had somebody completely invalidate your feelings? Like, make you feel like, yeah, everything you're saying, mm,
Yes.
you know?
Yes. I think that one time I had I don't even I won't say it was from the PTSD. It's that thing that grief just comes at some point and just hits you. And so I was having one of those phases. And I remember I put my sister's picture and then the person reaches out to me and is like, oh, are you okay? And I was like, oh no, 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 no. But I will be. It's just one of those phases. And so she goes ahead and she's like, no, talk to me. What's going on? And, I thought, oh, this person might understand. And so I just go
Yeah.
ahead and started talking and talking, oh, blah, blah, blah. She now goes, but that she just thinks that her honest opinion is that she just thinks that 5 years is enough for me to get over this thing that's wrong with me. That she just thinks
Wow.
that sometimes she just feels like it's a little bit too much and I'm always doing too much and that she just thinks that once in a while, even when I start to feel like this, I don't need to come on social media and show it, blah 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 blah. And I was just like, excuse me, sorry. And
Wow. I did not expect that.
I was
Oh,
like,
wow.
I said to her, I was like, are you serious? Are we joking? Is this a joke? And she was like, no, that that she has noticed that I'm always doing this, and that today she just wanted to know like what is it exactly, and that she just thinks that once in a while I should just um not, even if I feel like that, I shouldn't come on social media. And I was like, when I told her, first of all, half of the time I feel like this, I don't come on social media. I'm always on Twitter cracking
Mm-hmm.
jokes, stuff. But like when I actually put the picture, most of the time I'm actually okay. Most of the times I feel the way I feel. But I don't think that you should come and be telling me to how you should be come and be telling
How
me
you
how to
should
feel.
feel.
And she was like, that well that she has lost people and she has never felt this much. At least after a year or two, that she feels better. I
Wow.
said, good for you. But
Mm-hmm.
but again, it's because to a very large extent, I understand how I feel. So people coming to invalidate it to a large extent, I don't let it get to me, because again, the people that are extremely close to me, the people that are in my circle, um, do not invalidate my feelings. So
Yeah.
if you are not in my circle and you're trying to invalidate my feelings, until you will have to shift or you will collect. Or you will collect. I've had somebody tell me,
Oh my
I think it was so the last time I put my sister's picture and I said something along the lines of sometimes it's not fair.
gosh. Yeah.
I
I
had
think I saw that.
a lot of conversations with people that I know somebody, she also lost her sister. And when I put that up, she sent me a message and she was like, yes, it's not fair, Adana. And that she doesn't feel comfortable, that she likes the way that when I start to feel like that, I'm honest about my feelings. And I was like, what have you gone through? And she was like, that one day she put her sister's picture and somebody texted her and said, that is enough now. I think she grieved enough. I was like, next time somebody tells you that, you tell them
Wow.
that let their sister die so that they can know what it feels like.
No. No.
And,
Oh my
and
God.
she felt so bad. Like she was talking to me and she was like that she felt so bad. And that ever since she hasn't put up the girl's picture, her sister's picture. And it's so weird because I also know her sister. And when her sister passed, it hit me terribly as well. So somebody validating her feeling was like, why? How dare you? Like, why would you even
Yeah.
do that to somebody? And so it's all of those things. Like I had a lot of conversation, people that have lost somebody like 10 years over, still coming to say, Adana, really, it's not fair. It's not fair. I don't still think it's fair. And most of the times I'm grateful for the fact that I'm to a large extent, in quotes, a bit expressive, because it gives other people the chance to feel like, oh, this thing that's
There's
happening to
someone
me,
else.
there's someone
It's not
else.
just me. Yeah.
It's not just me. As much as it's like I always say, as much as it's uncomfortable for me. Sometimes I put all those things and I turn off my data and run.
Yes, because I mean, people are just people sometimes. Like, I don't know, people just
Mm,
can't filter. The emotional intelligence is not there yet for some people,
yeah,
and it's really, really frustrating. I feel like I can't. What you just said, I can't even. No, no.
it
How can you
was.
tell somebody how long to grieve for? Like,
I said one day I will write a blog post about it, and I will be brutal. I won't be nice. I will
I
actually
can't
be brutal.
imagine.
I will not be nice. And it's so weird because it's just like, the worst. Even people that have experienced loss will come and be telling you, even when me, I lost somebody, it wasn't even that deep self. And I'm just looking at you
Hmm.
like, Auntie, leave me alone. Me and you, did we lose the same person? You wouldn't know.
Yeah, I mean, come
I
on.
can not.
Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
so sorry you had to go through all of that. And to any other person who probably watching this and you've had your feelings invalidated, you've had people stigmatize you for being expressive
Call
about your
them
mental
out.
health.
Call them out.
While Adana says to call them out, I'm saying to please build build your own support system, just like
Yeah.
Adana has done. Build your own support system. People that their opinion matter more than those people, and these people see
Yeah.
you for who you are. They know how much pain it is. They know that, oh, on days like this it's harder, So they envelop you with much more love. They are much more there for you instead of
Mm.
just listening to. Because the truth is, these people will always be there. People who are
Yeah.
not as emotionally intelligent as you are always going to be there. People are always going to give unsolicited advice, right? I mean, if you want to continue calling people out, you're going to continue calling people out for as long as you are on this earth,
He's
right?
always
That's
called
the
them
truth.
out, block,
Delete.
delete, mute. Because I have some cousins that are muted. I have family members that are muted.
Because no
Just
time, no time.
because you cannot be in your lane and come and be stressing me out. I have a lot of my life is too chaotic to have more stress in it. And that's always like my ginger. The
Yeah.
way my life is wired, right? There's no space
Mm.
for more people
Negative
to
people, yes.
auntie, no dear, go away.
All right. So now that we've spoken about the stigma, both at workplace, friends, family, and things like that. So what is like,
Yeah.
at least just give us like, because I think we're running out of time. Give us like two coping skills that help you in managing PTSD. Your own coping skills, like at least two of them.
Yeah. I would say I do this rare I do this not as consistently as I should, but when it comes, cry. Whatever emotions that you're feeling, feel it.
Express it.
Don't try to suppress it. Admit that this is a feeling that you are feeling and feel it, right? Because once you suppress it, it's gonna build up to the next phase that is
Mm.
coming. And
Yeah.
when it
True.
comes, it will hit you.
Basbos.
Mass was I had a recent experience, I don't even want to talk about it. And I was just like, what? Excuse
Wow.
me, why am I feeling what? And I had to go home and like, there are new levels to this thing, no. Levels to this thing.
Yeah.
And really it's because that I am very great at suppressing stuff.
Mm.
And so I'm learning that feel it, no matter no matter, even if you need a whole day to feel it completely. Let the whole shock go through. It will pass because it doesn't linger for that. At least for me, it doesn't linger for that long.
Mm.
That's one. Two would be have people that do not have invalidate your feelings. I
A
remember on
support
Thursday
system.
when I started to feel like that, I went to my friends. We have a group chat, and I just put it there. I was like, "Oh my goodness!" I just had like a breakdown, and everybody just rallied. It's like the next day, everybody's calling me. Did you go to work? I hope you don't go to work. Turn off your phone. Have you eaten? You should eat. Come to the house. I have food. Come and stay in my house. You need to be around people. Blah, 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 blah. And
Yeah.
everybody just literally rallied around. And even in the moments where, which is very weird, I'm extremely, extremely quiet.
Yeah.
When I go like that, just know that it's now deep, it's now intense. Like I just
Yeah.
go quiet, plug my ears, and just turn to the bed, and I'm not talking to anybody. I'm just on Twitter retweeting. And sometimes when my friends see me retweeting and just being on Twitter, they just call me like, this one is not okay.
Yeah.
She's not
Because these are
okay.
people who already know you. Like they know when something is off and when something is right, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, which is
Yeah.
why sorry, please go on.
So, because I'll say sometimes I put like all deep stuff on my Instagram, and it's normal deep stuff. And there sometimes I put those deep stuff that I know that this is what I'm
Yeah.
feeling. Somebody will just call me and say, I saw your Instagram story. Is everything okay? And I'm just like, how do you
It's
know
just
that
a poster.
But really, sometimes it's like something is wrong with me, and I just do
Yeah.
that. But it's just have support system, feel every single emotion. And three, talk about it. Like be expressive. The best way that if you write, write. If you talk, talk. if you want to do a
Dance,
voice
dance.
recording to yourself so that you just vent, do it. If you want to dance, see, I do all of these things in different doses. There are some days that I dance, and so there's some days that I write, and there are some days I vent. My venting is always more, yeah. So just do the one that works for you. You always,
Yeah. So I just want to like lay a bit more emphasis on the expression part that you mentioned. You know, expressing yourself. There's this thing I always tell people, right? Emotions repressed would always come back,
sure,
no matter what you do. It
double
may not
time
come back right
100.
now, it may not come back tomorrow, but it will definitely come back.
Yeah,
Emotions repressed always come back. And the most times they come back in two forms. You repress emotions for so long, it either explodes or it will implode. If it explodes, you find yourself, taking out anger with on other people, just being who you are not to other people, being rude, being angry, being loud, being whatever it is. That is when the emotions you have repressed for so long explode. Now, when it implodes, it's crashing both you down, even physically,
yeah.
right? So there's really no point to actually repressing or holding in your emotions. It's always good to find an outlet. Always find an outlet. Journaling is a good outlet. And journaling does not
Yeah.
mean you have to use the traditional pen and paper. You can do your digital pen and paper. You can journal in different ways. If you're a creative, you can
Yes.
create whatever it is you do. Just find an outlet. That's the most important thing, right? And then, like she mentioned, find your support system. Find your support system. Be intentional about building your support system, because the moment you have those people, everything else just sort of bounces off you. On days
Yeah.
when you feel really really low, that these are people that would help pull you up. Their strength will pull you up. So find your support system, and also go for therapy if you can. Please go for
Oh,
therapy.
I forgot that. I
If you
thought everybody
can't,
should go to therapy.
yeah. If you can, go to therapy. If you can't, there are other free mental health services, free counseling everywhere and anywhere. Psychebabble here, we offer free counseling. So please always utilize these services. These things are out there. They are free of charge. Use them. You are not alone. Like, people are going through so much. The average person beside you is going through a lot. Yourself, you are
Ah,
going through millions of things, right? So please, let's always talk about your emotions, express them. Try to not repress your feelings, and be intentional about your support system. Build it. Take your time. Find the people that connect with you most, the people you connect with most, people whose energy you enjoy. Your support system does not necessarily have to be your family members. Please don't forget.
yeah.
Family members can be triggering, so your support system does not have to be family members. So please be intentional. Be intentional about building your support system. All right.
Table
On that
broken.
note, Adana, thank you so much. I think we've spent so much time. Thank you so much for coming on this live. Like, thank you so much
Thank
for
you,
sharing.
Sandra, for dragging me.
Thank you so much for sharing with us. It's always a pleasure whenever I get to speak to you. I am so glad
Yeah.
we decided to do this, and I hope that more people get to see videos like this and realize that mental health is something that every Nigerian should pursue with. In fact, chase it like your whole life depends on it, because it just might, right?
Uh-huh.
If your mental health is down, it's also going to affect your physical health, and that is the truth.
Yeah.
So I hope that we all get to always find outlets, find people, speak out about whatever you're going through, find professionals to speak to, go for therapy. There are so many people that offer free therapy services. So many people offer counseling. Seek a professional, oh, please,
Not
professional.
an
Oh, I'd not
advocate.
say.
No, but it's true now. It's true. Not an advocate. Because most time people come to my DMs and I'm always like,
Yeah.
I'm not a specialist.
So
I
in
am
cases like that, Adana, in cases like that, please always refer people to appropriate help. Like, you can,
yeah,
if it's on
yeah, yeah.
Instagram, you can just direct them to somebody's DM and someone else's DM. So on that
Most time
note,
people direct them, they don't go. But yeah.
They don't go. But at least you've done your part. That's the thing. I think that's
Yeah.
where it comes in. Encourage them to actually go seek these people out. So on that note, Adana, thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
coming on.
Thank
Thank
you.
you for thank you for doing this. We really appreciate you. We say thank you so much.
Thank you for letting
All
me do
right.
this. People are going to call me after this. But yeah.
Yes, I am. All right now. Thank you so much. Have a great day.
And you too. Thank you everybody for coming.
Bye. All right. How do I do this? Okay. So you guys, everybody, thank you so much for joining Psychebabble's Living with series. We really appreciate you, and we say a very big thank you. So please keep engaging with our posts, keep liking them, sharing, and also share with your friends, share with your family members. Let people know that we are here. Let people know that mental health is something for everybody and not just one person, right? It's not something that happens to only white people. It's not something from your village people. A lot of people are struggling. There's a lot of anger going on. There's a lot of people feeling depressed, feeling pressured, so many things. So please utilize the services that we offer. Psychebabble offers free counseling. We also offer referral services to professional therapists. So please utilize the services, and we are always here to help you. All right, you guys. Thank you so much for joining this live. Bye.